Okay, hey there, everybody. So we're going to take a few minutes to look at re-importing some maps into a Quixel project. So maybe we've changed a normal, or maybe we've changed a color ID or something like that, and we want to re-import them. So I'm going to go ahead and load our current project and take a look at what's going on in 3Do with it. And then once we see what it is I want to change, then we'll go ahead and make the change in the normal map and the color ID and see how to re-import those. Okay. Well, first of all, our mesh isn't here, right? So I went into 3Do and our mesh is not showing up. Let's see, 3Do. There's 3Do. So our mesh is not showing up. And if I come over to the DDO toolset here, if I go to this drop down right here, my reimport mesh is not an option. And if I come over here to this reimporter, if I click that, I get this error message that basically I need to fix my project.xml file. Now this is not a common thing, but this is something that can occur. So let's take a look at how to get that fixed. It's not that difficult to take care of. So here on my desktop I have my normal baking example, and this is the folder that has all of the stuff that I've been dealing with the dedo, the undo, final content. It's got all of my stuff. So what I want to do is right up here in the address bar, I want to select this address bar, and I want to get everything prior to the / normal baking example. I'm going to select that. So that is my path that is to the folder that contains everything I'm currently working on. Alright, let's go into the dedo folder. Oh, well actually so I'm going to click this address bar. So once again, everything before the / on the normal baking example, and then I'm going to press Control-C on my keyboard to copy it. So right here's the project.xml file. I'm going to right click on that and load it with Notepad++. You can load it with Notepad or some other text editor. So I'm going to use Notepad++. And what I'm wanting to do, notice right here, this normal baking example, final content, blah, 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 that. So this normal baking example, that folder is the relative path, the local path to where something is located. But look at what's coming before that. C users WCC student, WCC student downloads. And that's the machine from the lab when we were working on this in class. Well, what I want to do is I'm going to select that part that's wrong, come up over here to edit and go to replace. It's in search actually, search and then replace. And I'm going to replace the C users WCC student downloads with Control-V. I'm going to paste in what I had, and what it's going to be replaced with is users Jerry Miles desktop. And let's just do a replace all. So that has replaced every instance throughout this XML file, so that now the XML file is pointing to the correct location where my normal baking example is actually located at. So let's save this out. Let's hit Control-S to save it. And I'm going to go ahead and close Notepad because I'm done there. And then go back into dedo and reload my project. Load project, there we go. Let it get loaded up. Jump into 3Do so we can kind of take a look at what's going on here real quick. And should pop up here. Okay, so here we have our mesh back. And what it is I'm wanting to fix, remember that I've got this normal information, and here's that M, that in an earlier video, in the last video, I basically moved this M and that O, but I left the normal information. I need to fix that both on my color ID as well as on my normal map. So that's what we're getting ready to take on here. So let's go ahead and close out of dedo. No, I don't need to save my project. Get back into our project folder where we've got everything. I'm going to go into the undo folder, which has my sci-fi column normal map that I was working on. Go ahead and load that up in Photoshop. Bring up undo. So I've got my undo stuff here, like so. And I'm going to start off by fixing my color map. Let's see, let's turn on this Maya color ID down here. This one right here actually has those letters, which I mean, those letters are fine, except I can't guarantee that they're going to line up with what I'm going to actually have here in just a minute. So I'm going to bring back this color ID one here that doesn't have the letters. I've got my wingdings here. Let's make that one visible. I'm going to right click on the wingdings and do a copy layer or duplicate layer. Wingdings copy, that sounds fine. And let's hide that other wingdings, and this new one, this wingdings copy, let's right click and rasterize type. Then I can do a control click on the thumbnail there to select everything, control C, control V to paste it on a new layer. Let's hide our color map so that way I can come up here to my movement, and I'm actually going to use my arrow keys. I'm just going to slide these guys over here somewhere, roughly get them lined up. Maybe something like that. I guess I can use the one that's underneath it as a guide, pretty much, even though I'm not going to necessarily follow it exactly, although that lined up exactly, so that's cool. So let's select these, right click and merge those. Then I'm going to control click that thumbnail again, control C, control V, and slide all of these over this way, and they should line up pretty close at least. If not, that's fine, because I'm going to delete the normal information here in just a second anyway. Alright, well, that one lines up, and that one's close enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out, control minus. Let's select both of these layers, right click, merge, there they are. Then I'm going to rename this one to be lettering. And let's bring our color map back. So there's our color map. Let's go ahead and save out a copy of our color map. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and in the Undo I'm going to go to a TGA right there, and Fixed Color ID. Yep, I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to save this. Yes, replace it, and 24 bits per pixel is just fine. Okay, so we've got that saved out. Now let's hide our color ID right there. This lettering one, I'm going to duplicate it again, so right click and duplicate layer, which is right there. That'll be fine. I'm going to hide this duplicated layer just so I've got it here if I ever want it. Like, for instance, all this work that I'm having to do right now, just in case I ever want it again. And then I'm going to drag the other one down so it's inside these normal tags right here in the layers. The lettering group from previous, I'm going to go ahead and select that group and just chuck it. Group and contents. And now select this new lettering one that I just put there, convert that into normal information, and make the changes. So the slant is going to be down, then my size is going to be like a 2. My contrast, let's go to like a 60 on our contrast. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our normal. I'm going to go ahead and save this with a Control S. But in order to reimport these maps in Quixel, I can't reimport a PSD file. What I need to do is reimport a target or a PNG. So I'm going to come up here, go to File, Save As, and I'm going to save this one also as a target because I like targets. And I'm going to name this NDO underscore normal underscore map. There we go. 24 bits per pixel is what I want. Nice. Okay, we are now done with Undo, so let's close Undo, and let's get back into Dedo. So over here into Dedo, I'm going to go ahead and load my project again. Project. And now I want to reimport those two new maps I just created. So right here I'll go to this reimporter. I'll select that. My material ID and normal, I'm going to go ahead and hit the check, or not the check, the X's to delete those two. Then I will select material ID. That is located in my Undo folder here, and it is the fixed color ID. So I'll grab that guy, and then I'll click on the normal right there, and also normal maps Undo. My Undo normal map target right here, I will go ahead and select that one and do an open on that, and then hit re-render and give 3Do here about 30 seconds to go through the re-rendering process and take a look at what we have. And then we should have our normal map and color map aligned the way that I want it and fixed, and those fixes cascade through all of the masks and everything that we've got within Quixel. So the key to doing this was, well, first having the non-destructive layers in my original normal map so I could easily recreate the normal information I wanted, as well as modify my color map. If I did not have the non-destructible layers, I would basically be screwed. It would have, I mean, not really, it can be done, it's just going to take a whole lot more work. But I mean, it took just a couple minutes to get that done. And then the other key was to make sure that the normal map was saved out as a target or a PNG. I prefer targets, so that way when I come back into dedo, the reimporter will work. So if I go to the normal, you can see here's my new normal, and you can see the M's all the way across there, the O's all the way across there, so you can see that this is definitely my new normal. Now if we go into 3do and take a look at this, we will now have, let's tumble it over this way, and you can see how we have fixed that the problem that we were having before. So that problem is now corrected, and that looks pretty good. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that what we did as far as those scratches, I think is probably a little bit too extreme. I think I need to do some tweaking on that maybe. Okay, well, there we go. So that's what we got so far. We got our maps fixed, and we're ready to go on to the next step.